Hey, welcome back. It's been quite a long time, but finally able to record again. I'll try and go through what I've done since the last episode. I'm pretty sure I've shown you the ore processing. So this is the ore coming up from the miner, goes into here, gets pulled in to the grinder. Then we've got our XNet system, which decides where to put it. If it's small pieces, it goes in here, getting ready for processing. Got the industrial electrolyzer. The extractor, which cleans up the cells, and then the furnace, which pushes it back up here. And then that's how I've been able to get some zinc. I've got 30 ingots of zinc now. Along with that, I've rebuilt the industrial blast furnace. I need 3000 heat. I looked up the recipes, and the highest heat that it will go is 3500. So yeah, that's the maximum. There's a recipe. Oh, okay, and it can do cold coke too. Nice. Where are we? I need to do this recipe. Steel plus tungsten equals hot tungsten steel ingots. And I'm not even making tungsten yet, so I need that. I need 2500 heat for that. So I was on 1800 because I'd made this out of the basic machine casing, standard machine casings. So I made a full one out of reinforced machine casing, which is not exactly cheap at all. Stacks of diamonds, and that got me up to 2920. I miscalculated mainly because of the way they've worded it in the quest book. It says you can fill the center 2 blocks with lava source blocks to add another 500 heat. I read that as 500 heat each, so that 2 lava blocks meant 1000 heat plus the heat from these other blocks, but it is not. It must be 250 each, so 500 heat in total. So I had calculated when I finished building this entirely of reinforced machine casing, I would have over 3000 heat, which would allow me to make the hot tungsten steel. But that didn't work out. As you can see, I haven't even hit 3000 yet. I am trying to build these advanced blocks. As you can see, I've got a couple of them. I'm about to make another 2, which should get me there. And that will allow me to make this hot tungsten steel that I need for the I haven't talked about that, for the reactor. So I'll be making a extreme reactor, nuclear fuel reactor, and that requires these things. So this is the base block that it uses, reactor casing. It uses hot tungsten steel ingots, uranium and graphite, and reactor casing core. And then the reactor casing core also uses graphite. So there's 2 things there that I don't have at the moment and didn't have the machines to be able to make, which is the hot tungsten steel, which I'm working on, as I said, and the graphite bar, which is made in the resonator from a graphite ingot, which is made is it graphite dust? Yes, from graphite dust in the industrial squeezer, and we squeeze coke dust, and obviously coke dust is through the crusher. So those are the 2 things I've been trying to work towards. Now, the reason I'm going for these things and having to do all this prep is we've come through thermal foregoing, or industrial foregoing, I think it's called, sorry, and thermal expansion, and we've gone down to here and here, which has unlocked this quest, which I have done. And then if we do this one and this one, then we can, there's our ME system, the controller. This is the crystal growth stuff. There's cables. That's the inscriber to make the electronic circuits, or not electronic circuits, logic circuits and engineering circuits and stuff. There's the storage system, and then the actual storage cells. And these are the different crafting things, pattern things, and that's the interface. This is the I forget what they call it, but it makes singularities, and that's a singularity there. And you use those for doing teleportation and remote systems. So yeah, and then this is all your wireless stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping to get there, and that's the top tier battery. So I might be able to make some of that stuff. I could probably get through these depending on what they're... Nah, see, they don't... A lot of these quests now don't give any rewards. This pack definitely was not made to be rewarding. It's made to be difficult, I guess. Yeah, so once we do that, and then that's the final upgrade onto the EFAB. This was the auto crafting upgrade for the EFAB, so that you can actually pipe items in and do all that, but you still need to hook it up to some kind of system that requests it and does all that sort of stuff. So that's why I haven't gone through there. All this is more advanced mob farms and things. Yeah, that's the resource miner, which I haven't built yet. These are the next upgrades for the ore miner. Some other stuff. This is another fusion power thing, which I haven't looked at yet. Yeah, and that's the upgrade. So you can see I have made one of the jetpacks. But yeah, and I didn't even know that I'd unlocked these things. Wow. So electric arc. And this is leading into the rocket ship stuff. Space suit. But yes, I'm not not about to make any of these stuff. I don't want to look any further than this. This is my focus going back. As you'll see, where I've finished off these. Just need a bit of iron to do the last couple. Haven't built all the machines, obviously, but yeah, got all that going. We've still got two quests here. I haven't forgotten about them. But yeah, in order to quickly progress through all this stuff and do all this, I need auto crafting, otherwise I'll go insane trying to get all this stuff. And actually setting up a big reactor, get me lots of power, should be really good, because at the moment I'm doing pretty much all the mining manually. This system, just to process these ores, it just sucks more power out of my canola system than I have. So that's been a bit on the fritz, because we're pulling out more power than it's producing, which means that eventually the farmers don't get any power, and so there's tons of resources in there, but the farmers don't have enough power to harvest, and the whole cycle stops. So yeah, the main thing is to finish off, should be able to create the last 2 advanced machine casings to get this up over 3000 heat, make a whole bunch of hot tungsten steel, so that I can get a reactor going. The reactor can then replace all that power system, maybe even make 2 reactors. Well, 1 to start with, but there might be 1 down here and make 1 up above, so I'm not trying to pipe power everywhere. But yeah, that's the idea, is to push that. So you can see I've disconnected it because I'm using too much power, and so if I disconnect this, it means no new ores are going up, so it can start storing up some power. I always got to remember to turn my magnet off here. So this has got a little bit of power in it. But yeah, it's not producing that much. And I've turned off, so see how these have got the lights going, so they're running. I've turned off half of the generators so that I'm not sucking out as much fuel. See, it's still, if I go up to see, these are all run out of power. So I've been taking the batteries, I've been putting the batteries up stairs, filling them up and then putting them, so as soon as these things get power, they just harvest everything and it starts running again. But yeah, it's not looking great, and because I'm so close to the extreme reactors, it's the quest I'm about to do, that I don't want to try and sort out fixing the system and upgrading and doing all that, because those upgrades are just insanely expensive. So I'm going to kind of ignore my power issues at the moment and push forward and get the extreme reactor working. Hopefully that sorts everything. We've run out of power too, I think. Yeah. Oh, because they didn't have a... There we go. Okay. Yeah, so let's have a look. So this used to be my farm. The farm is gone. I've set up my EFAB here, so I've set up a bunch of things so I can start doing multiple things. I've got a bunch of liquids set up. Latex, that's usually resonant ender. It's molten steel there, creosote oil, water. So the water is actually getting fed by a sink under here. It's just pushing straight into there, and then lava, which did have an ender tank on top of it, same as these ones, but I'm using lava somewhere else. So these are just all the little bits and bobs. So this is the crafter. So what it is you set up a single recipe in here, and it will use these processes. Processes are under there. And pull from the item storage. So you push items into here, and then you tell the crafters to run, and then they will do the craft. So if you want multiple things, you have to have a crafter for each of those things. Some molten aluminum and some sludge. Now the sludge and the latex are down here, so we don't have tree farm anymore. Well, we don't have the Steve's Cart's tree farm. That is because the Steve Cart has durability and the diamond saw blade on there had run out. So I've just set up this one. So I've got a plant gatherer here, and this isn't perfect. I still need to make sure it's trashing the saplings. Actually, we could do that here. just quickly grab out the key. Why is that not? Sometimes the torches get in the way. And this draw's got a void upgrade so that even if I'm not coming down and grabbing all the resources out of it, it's not going to stop, so that should be fine. Hopefully that should all work. What it is, we've got a plant sower down here, but that's got hints, that should be fine, and then there's the latex. Now they're both feeding into ender tanks. I've used those before, they're pretty simple. You set up tanks with the same colours are all connected, so this one's blue, white, white, and that connects to the blue, white, white up top in L5. This laser is power, because this machine needs to be powered, and the solar needs to be powered as well. This one doesn't, and so you can see this is blue, blue, white, which hooks up to the blue, blue, white in L5. Yes, so if we go back to here, so because I need all the coal coke for the graphite, I did a little bit of rearranging here. So I set up my improved blast furnace here, so I can make a bit of steel. I can make steel in the other furnace. The industrial blast furnace can make steel and coal coke, but it takes a lot of power, whereas these things aren't as fast, certainly can't get anywhere near as fast as the other one can, which can probably do like a stack in a second. But they use a lot less power, so that should be fine. And so I've set up three of them. These two are pushing creosote into a trash bin behind them. This one is putting into an iron drum. Now iron drums can hold 256 buckets, so I'm just grabbing that. I'm not sure I need any more creosote oil. I just want to have, like, say 1,000 buckets around, and then that means that even if I get to some machines that actually do require some creosote, I'm not like rushing to try and make some more. And to fit in that third coke oven, I moved my smeltery, and while I was at it, just added another layer on. So I put it into the ground a little bit, and yeah, made it too high. So I got 2 tanks of lava, and gives me extra space for stuff. Otherwise, it's the same. So these are blood balls, coagulated blood. When things fall in here, they hurt themselves. When they hurt themselves, it puts blood in there. I can do it as well. If I jumped in, it'd start hurting me and take a lot of damage, but then it will add blood into the tank. So because there's lots of butterflies and stuff flying around, a lot of them end up in the smeltery and dying. So I had a lot of blood, so I just pulled them out into coagulated blood. I didn't want to just avoid it, so yeah. Yeah, what else? I think that's about it for here. So what I've been doing is, this is still very manual. I just bring some coal ore up here, chuck it in there, grab the coal out, put it in here, and this is how we get our glorious coal coke. That's probably already heaps, but that's got heaps of coal, so might as well just get heaps of coal coke too. Our system has, well, L2, our main floor I should say, has changed a little bit. So the EFAB machine's gone because that's gone up to L5. I've taken out those crafting things there because I don't need them. Some chests, removed all those things. Still got the Pan's Harvest Craft stuff here, which need to be set up. Still on my list is to completely automate the southern breakfast, which I will do. But yeah, I've been trying to get this storage system set up first, which has become way more of a mission than I originally thought. I was hoping to do it with much simpler mods than AE2, but the ones that make it easy are disabled. I've disabled the auto crafting and refined storage mod. And I was looking around with the RF tools control, which is another mod that allows some kind of automated system for crafting, and that was just looking very complicated to set up. Fairly simple if you just want to auto craft one thing, but it's basically like, check if this chest has this, check if this chest has this. If it has those, pull those items out. Now push those items into here. Now wait. Now pull those items out. So it's doable, but it becomes very, very complicated, and not worth the time really for how complex it all would have to be, like making all the wires and the plates and gears and then pushing everything up to the EFAB auto crafter and waiting for that to finish and making sure all the fluids are there and stuff. It's just, yeah, I gambled on the fact that it would take as much time to set that stuff up to a proper standard than it would to get through these quests, because I looked and I was like, how hard could this be? Just 2 more quests and then I get the ME controller, and then I can move down and start with all the stuff. So yeah, but it's still been crazy. But yeah, at least I know these are steps that I would have to take. I'm probably taking them a bit slower than is possible, but yeah, if I'd set up all the RF tools control system, that it basically gets removed as soon as I get AE2 anyway. It just completely replaces it. So yeah, I figure while I've got these loot boxes out, we'll go through them. That's absolutely useless at this point in the game. Yeah, alright, food. Not the most exciting of rewards. Iron's basically useless at this point, and charcoal. Let's put the hamburgers and pretzels. I'm sure I've got some more pretzels. We got one space. What should be? Twice. No drinks then. Oh, here we go. Some cooked turkeys. Let's grab those. Get raw chicken somehow. Okay, what's that? Meat meal, and that's meat. Okay, let's grab the meat meal then. So yeah, the food I eat at the moment isn't very good at healing me up and stuff when I need it, so it's nice. It will be nice to we'll add some cables here. And So I've created some RF tool storage, modular storage. So each chest can hold 300 stacks, which is heaps. So these two chests are completely empty. This one only has all my like saplings and stuff like that, and this has all the crafting stuff. And what we've got here is a storage scanner, which scans for storage in an area and shows you all your stuff, including drawer controllers, other chests, and everything. So I've set it to scan far enough that it will actually give me all of my stuff from these modular storages, all the stuff from the storage drawers right here, through the storage drawer controller, and everything through the ingot drawer controller up there. And so this chest, these things can go in the food one. So that chest is mainly when I set the grinder to a whole bunch of stacks of redstone ore, because I ran out of redstone, so it was just pushing into there. Yeah, set up the industrial centrifuge, just kind of haphazardly doing things. So this is getting lava through my lava ender tank, which is red, white, white, and I've decided to make some obsidian. So that's up to 100 obsidian. Over here I was making cobble for a long time, because to make cobble in the what do they call these things, igneous extruder, is free. You put 1 bucket of water and 1 bucket of lava, and you set it to cobble, and it doesn't use up any lava or water to do it. You might think that sounds a bit weird, but that's how it is in the game. You can set up a cobble gen, which is a bucket of lava there and a bucket of water there. When they meet, they make a piece of cobble, and you can just sit there with your pickaxe and whack, 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 and just pick up the cobble. And as the cobble breaks, the water and the lava meet again and make a new piece of cobble. So cobble generation is really, really quick and really easy. Doesn't require any resources other than standing there. But when you start to make obsidian or stone, or I think this can make like basalt and marble and stuff, it does actually use up lava and water. So we're pulling water from the sink, add lava for my lava tank, and I will show you where that is. So I've set up a pump. This pump will scan in a 64 block area, so 128 blocks by 128 blocks, and we'll find all the lava underneath it and eat it all up and replace it with stone. So you can see here how it's done it there, because this basalt generates around the lava pools. You can see here it's come up to here, next it will go through there, and it will eat all the lava from the from this level down to bedrock. So, and it looks like it's fairly light on the power too. I just grabbed a couple of batteries or power cells and put them down here. So this will keep going and just scan around. So I've set it up so that this is the area that I have dug out with my drill, and it does 64 by 64. So where we're standing now, it will do this big square, so almost the whole thing. So once it's done that, And I'm really hoping that I'll just be able to come here, right click, and you can see at the bottom it says scanning at, and then the coordinates range 25, so it's gone 25 blocks out from this point. I'm hoping it'll say scanning complete or something when it's done, and then that means I can just go down and start digging it all out, because we're at Y11, so we can go all the way down to Y2, I think, or 1, and that because diamond spawns from Y16 to Y0, I think. If we just quickly... Yeah, Y0 to Y16. Emerald also is Y0 to Y16, but Emerald isn't such a hard thing to get at this point. Just while I'm curious. Y16 to Y42, yeah, uranium. So I might need to go upwards. So I keep getting uranium in the ceiling, and when I go through caves and stuff I get uranium. So I've got a few. I've got like 300 ingots of uranium, which isn't crazy, but it's a little bit. Would like a bit more than that though. But yeah, because I'm pretty sure the extreme reactor that I'm going to build will run on uranium. I don't think there's yellorium. Oh, there is yellorium. Fluid yellorium. That might be a disabled thing though. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where these things come from. So you got to find the right tank that it goes into. It's just false. No, I don't think yellorium's in here. They just haven't disabled the uranium grit. So even the yellorium turns into uranium. Yes, it is the yellorite. It's not there. Yeah, so it's just uranium. So we should try and get as much of that as possible. Because yeah, the extreme reactor doesn't just run infinitely by itself. It's not set and forget. You need to make sure that you're always mining more uranium to put into it, which should be fine. It's just a matter of getting the void ore miner tier 5. So tier 5 with a green laser lens, you should be good to go. So yeah, this is perfect to show the ender tank working, as the pump just pumps up into the ender tank, and that's connected to the same ender tank that's over in L2, and L2 is then, the ender tank in L2 is then pushing that into the igneous extruder to make obsidian. So yeah, you can kind of see how much mining I've had to do. One of the things that I have done is I have fully upgraded my drill. So we're doing the 3x3, we're doing Silk Touch, and I got the 3 speed upgrades, which were not cheap, but so we give it a fair decent pace. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a big chunk of this pumped out. Once that pump's done running there, move it across, but it means that I've got a massive area that I can go down and just dig it all out without fear of lava, because some of these lava lakes can be pretty big. Like if we have a look, you can see this one. It's a massive amount of lava. So it'd be nice to have that all dug, or not dug out, but converted to stone and pumped up for me to use. You can kind of see here there's some cave systems and stuff. There's a beehive I ignored. There's a massive cave system up there. Actually, this will be the perfect time to show this off. It's not because it's the first tier. Yeah, it's a bit hard to... Some of these things are really big and long, so you're going through and you start to get sick of how much this I completely didn't do this one. Massive. I needed some ruby. I'm hoping to, yeah. Once I get enough power generation, I should be able to easily handle running a miner, even an upgraded one. So this I've discovered this abandoned mine before. I actually set a home to it. I can't remember what the home was now. Was it just home mine? Yes. So yeah, I know of this place. I'm assuming it's the same mine shaft. At some point I'll come back here. There's a spawner. I think it's actually a cave spider spawner, which is very good for me, because we've got all these quests to get a trophy for each of them, which is going to take a little while. So having spawners with specific monsters in makes it a lot easier. But yeah, I'll just come through here. I'll probably go up a couple levels, or no, I could probably start about here and then just dig my way right through and just dig the whole thing up, because I've got like the all the different backpacks and stuff, so it's probably the easiest way to do it all. Which reminds me, I'll also rework this a bit. So I've turned this off at the moment, the blaze spawner. So as you can see, when I built it, I just put a switch on the bottom. So it's set to turn on when the redstone's on. I don't know if you can easily change these spawners to different mobs. It might not matter because there's the mob duplicator, which is a machine I can build that will spawn mobs, so I can do it that way. So, yeah, what I've done is just a simple upgrade, so it pushes into a chest. The chest then you can see has a transfer node here, so it pushes to the draw controller, and then the transfer node also has a list, a whitelist of all the crap that I don't want, and then that goes into a transfer. So this is all the stuff I'm keeping. All void upgraded. So potions don't stack, so I'll give them, these are potions of healing, so if I want those, they can be handy. So I've put them into 3 different drawers, because I had two spare drawers after all the other drawers. And then what I can do is I can come in here and have a look and see what stuff can't fit into my drawers and what stuff isn't on the list. The thing is, this list is full. You can only filter 16 items, which I'm already doing. But the fact that I'm already filtering 16 items means it's very rare to, like, it took a long time to get this much stuff. And you can see having this much, these things, is not a major issue. At some point I might want to start checking the enchants, and so these are the trophies I've got so far. I don't know if you can hear it over all the rest of the mob things today. I feel like you shot me there. Yeah, shoots arrows. And I know the creeper one explodes. Does a little explosion. But yeah, so it's just a simple mob farm. These mobs only drop standard stuff. So it's just all normal vanilla things, except for the bat wings, which I don't know what mod those drops. There's just a couple of spikes. I should be putting a spike up here as well, because I know that the spike will jump up. Too much. I don't. The main thing is ender pearls. I need to make sure that whenever I want ender pearls, I can grab them, which I can because I have 28 ender pearls here. Oh no, they only stack and stack to 16. So yeah, so that I can grab some. Yeah, the jetpack lasts for a very, very long time, mainly because I have a battery with 2 million RF in it. So, yeah, I've never noticed it drain or anything. There's been no issues at all. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Fairly happy with just using this at the moment. So if you can see here, you can do crafting in it as well. Craft 1, 4, 8 or 64. Even tell you what you're missing. So at the moment I need to make 2 more of these for the advanced machine casing for the to get the hot tungsten steel ingots, and I need more advanced electronic circuits. So that's my next step, is to make some more of those today and yeah, get that set up. Start crafting up some or smelting up some tungsten steel. I need to figure out exactly how much of this stuff I need. I really wanted to make a big one at the start. Like, I just like to sort things, but there's no way. The amount of hot tungsten steel and stuff, I'll just be waiting so long to get all this stuff sorted. So most likely I will make as much as I need for the quest, make the reactor that fits that size, and then I will, with that power, hopefully I can start getting the miners working, and then when I create some more resources I can upgrade it. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Still got lots of things to do that, but then after that is the slime island. Actually, I just realised I have a jetpack now. Completely didn't think. Right. Let's turn that off. Yeah, so I need to see what, because I've never really used leaves and stuff. So I want to make a slime farm. Basically what you do is the slime liquid has a chance of spawning slimes in it, so you try and make like a big waterfall of the slime liquid, and that spawns lots of slimes, and then you have the water like flowing into an area where you can kill them. So let's see if I've got... I've been doing lots with the bees, but still not working. Apparently the higher tier jetpacks drop slower, so if I just drop, but I won't be damaged from dropping. It drops me slow enough that I don't take any damage, which is good. That's cool. The water cooling on the leaves. Yeah. Actually, let's go around here. But I am getting absolutely nowhere. I think I need to see if there's like a bee focused pack or something and just play, because I know that because there's so much other stuff I'm doing, I'm never focusing on the bees enough, and because they take so long, like this progress bar will just slowly go down. So yeah, actually, I want to see if these work. Toggle ring. There's so much stuff in this pack that seems like cheating, but I guess it's kind of, some people just get frustrated with this stuff, you know, like nighttime and raining and walking everywhere, so that's why we've got like full teleport. But the thing is, like teleport and stuff, it's not like I just instantly win the game by teleporting now. You know, it's a convenience, but man, it's still, this pack still has a lot of things to do that isn't just walking around. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully next time I have an extreme reactor running and we're talking about slime farms. That'll be nice. Or setting up the food chains, because I want to make multiple different foods, not just the southern breakfast. The southern breakfast looked like it was fairly straightforward. I think that's going to require some of those mob machines, so that I can get like the beef and the pork and stuff that I need. So like the mob crusher. And then, I think it's here. No, that's mob slaughter factory. With a builder. There's a mob duplicator. Is that? No. What is that in this? No. Okay, it's in this one. Yeah. So, mob duplicator. So I can go catch a cow, catch a pig, and set up a couple mob duplicators and a mob slaughterhouse or something to that effect, and then I can have as much beef and pork as I want, and leather, although I don't need too much leather at the moment. Needed lots and lots at the start. Yeah, so I'm hoping once I can do that, and I can obviously do all the plants, growing them and farmers and stuff, and yeah, set up all that crafting so I can just have stacks and stacks of food. So yeah, I'll leave it there and I'll see you next time.